I really like the simplicity of Theotown. You can install plugins almost instantaneously, and the client is so light, you can restart the game in just a few seconds. It's really refreshing when you compare it to the experience in Cities Skylines, which is of course an amazing game, which I am quite a fan of. But man, it does take some time, and the sometimes in City Skylines, I think that the work of getting the game to just load up is more challenging than playing the game itself. Theotown, it's not like that. You just play around with it and do whatever you want, and it's, as a city painter, it's quite refreshing. And there's so much community-made content. It's pretty much like Cities Skylines in the sense that whatever you can imagine, somebody probably has made it. Now, we're going to do something wild and ridiculous today. We are going to, in addition to planting an aircraft carrier, which you saw I just did a moment ago, we're going to plant this enormous obelisk-shaped tower. And I think it'll go right there. That's a community-made object. That tower is really cool because it's actually it's actually a model of a real building that is planned for construction in Egypt, which makes a lot of sense considering the obelisk is a Egyptian symbol. Super cool building. It's actually truly enormous in scale. Just how large that building is supposed to be if they do build it when it's done. Can't even begin to wrap my head around just how enormously large that obelisk-shaped tower is proposed to be in real life. Anyway, it's gonna be a larger-than-life anchor of our town here today, and we will see. We'll see what happens next. I do want our town here to grow into something significant. I want it to seem like a real metropolitan center here along this inner bay when all's said and done. So we will have some big buildings here and a bit of a government district, and then of course we'll have more farm areas around the edges and things. Right now we have the Raccoon Business Park here for our industrial needs, and it's making a bit of a polluted mess of that part of town. That's alright though. As a matter of fact, we're gonna expand our industrial area a little bit more. Let's see about making an avenue here next to this big tower project, because I would imagine that would be probably be a need, wouldn't it? There we go. Yeah, something like that'll do the job just fine. And then it can connect to our other avenue that's already existing. I suppose I really ought to, what I ought to do is make a bridge here as well, so that the train can go by underneath. If you've never done them before, the bridges are a little bit finicky to figure out. There we go. That'll be just fine. Indeed. So we need some water. today I was thinking about how in social media influence we tend to find people that we admire and we like them. And then we think that we should be more like them, like we should do the things that they do. That's quite common in social media influencing culture. It's actually why people are social media influencers, because it works very well. People become fascinated with somebody's personality, and then as a result they become interested in that person's interests, because they think that those interests that that person they like have are a reflection of them, and then the best way to connect with that person that they like is to do the things that that person likes. And it's really a bit deceptive, because the truth is you can be quite fond of somebody, but that doesn't mean that you need to do what they're doing. And that's certainly true if it was something like video games or other hobby type interests. You could watch YouTube videos and you could find people that kind of have like interests, and maybe they're plugging some particular game or whatever. And if you are a follower of them, you might be tempted to think, well, this is a really cool streamer, so maybe I'll try that game that they play, or something like that. And it's a little deceptive, because those are two separate things. They could be a amazing influencer, but that doesn't mean that you need to be trying to do what they're doing. I think it's important to learn how to separate appreciation for a person with adoption to whatever they're doing, because quite often we do have friends maybe that are doing things and we're tempted to be sucked in, and then you have that sort of I guess peer pressure, if you will, and that can be a negative, really, because often people are wrong and they don't know it. So if everybody's following somebody, then what if everybody's wrong and you're just following people who are idiots because there's something good about them? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that they're right about everything. And so you're going along, and maybe you're buying the cryptocurrency or the NFTs, or I don't know, whatever it is. Playing some game you don't really enjoy because everybody seems to think that it's the thing to do, or any number of things could fall into that category. You really gotta live for yourself and just, I guess, make up your own mind about what you want to do and what you want to get involved in and what your interests are, and don't let the culture of everyone wanting to be an influencer influence you to the point where you don't really think for yourself and choose your own path. There's no need to let other people live your life for you. You can respect who other people are without needing to be who they are. And the truth is, what works for one doesn't actually work for everyone. And that's an important lesson to learn, because many times you will find that people say, hey, look what worked so well for me. And then you try to do that very same thing and you realize it doesn't work very well for you. Because there's a difference between discovering and copying. Don't be a copycat that just looks for someone else to jump on the bandwagon with. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to kind of build out this area behind my new Supertall tower because I can't actually see behind it. So I do want to just build some zones here so that I don't have to worry about what's behind this building. I know there's some transparency there, and that's alright. It'll be just fine. But it's a little bit awkward. A little awkward to have such a tall building there. Kind of a little bit in our way. So we're going to just build a neighborhood. Nice little neighborhood there. And we won't have to worry about it anymore. Let's do a little bit of commerce here. And we have a... looks like we have a crisis on our hands, don't we? Where is it? Oh boy. We have a fire. Fire broken out. The dramatic music is here to warn us of this. I guess I should build a fire department then. Speed up the game. Hopefully the emergency will come to an end soon. It really looks like that fire is spreading. No, it doesn't look good. Are they gonna put out that fire over there? Looks like some of it has been extinguished, but I guess these buildings just can't be saved. They're gonna just have to blow up. I guess that's what insurance is for, isn't it? Yep. Well, let's clear the rubble. Still spreading a little bit. Just, that fire just will not die. Maybe I need to tell the fire department they need to go back. They're not done yet. There we go. Okay. The fire has been extinguished. Life can go back to normal. All of our farms are upgrading again. Kind of weird how they all do that at the same time. Let's build another farm right here. I think that looks like a good place for a farm. And another one there. And another one there. There we go. It's a nice snowy day here in New Albion. And we have an enormous, enormous, wild-looking tower now to denote the glory of the Republic. Make sure our water pipes are the way they ought to be. Albion on the north bank is growing out nicely. We have a nice, amazing, super tall tower here, symbolic of our government's obsession with, I guess, lavish spending, while the rest of the community is small and underdeveloped all around it. Kind of like how Dubai started off being. Wildly tall buildings in a place where you really have an unlimited amount of land and don't need tall buildings, really. I always thought that was kind of weird. Alright. Well, anyway, thank you for watching this episode. Goodbye.